I again wrote it from the bass. So I guess I can play it, you know. It's something like that. That was what I started with, and then I added, you know, because I wanted it to have some sort of melody over it. A lot of this music came from the bass lines, which is not always the way I work. I sometimes work from a harmonic progression. I sometimes have a melody in mind, and then I figure out how to harmonize it, or I find some groove that goes under it. But all of these started with the bass line, you know. And the only rule I had for myself, I mean, I guess it's, you know, sort of a big rule, but I wanted a certain simplicity to it in a way. So I restricted myself. I said, okay, it's all going to be either in 4/4 or in 3/4. The particular section on Rising Over You, it was written in 4/4 as I recall, but it's in groups of 3. So you could look at that as in a big 3/4. You know, to add another kind of layer of complexity to it, but it's still 3 or 4, which was really the only rule that I made for myself on this entire project. The C section of that piece, the part where there's the clarinet solo, yeah, the melody of that section is basically, you know, an extrapolation of the beginning fast melody. It's got the same basic shapes to it, but it's in halftime, so it's a little slower, you know, and then it's harmonized, and it's harmonized in a fairly parallel way, like within the key signature, it mostly sticks to the chord, and it's the same thing. But I think there's a few parts where it deviates from that, you know. But that was how I generated it. I mean, whatever I can do to keep the compositional focus of the piece, so that I'm using the material to the best, you know, to the utmost. That's always what I try and do. Now, of course, sooner or later you have to introduce something new to create interest, and of course, having an improvised solo that introduces a lot of new material. Even if you're playing over the form of the original thing, you're playing all these melodies and rhythms and harmonies that are not in the original thing. So I see that often as kind of the variation part of the compositional structure.